Hey everyone, Blue Squadron here, and this video is going to be a lot of how the sausage is made, which is something you really don't want to see, and what not to do with the escape craft. My goal was to thread a piece of fiber optic all the way from the back where the engine is out the front, and have that fiber optic receive light from the central LED inside of the Falcon's body. The first mistake that I'm making here is that I'm trying to use a hand drill because I wanted the precision for going through that back central engine. Going through the exterior plastic is pretty easy, but then I encountered a gigantic plastic post in the very center of the escape craft. It's what holds the escape craft together, and it's made of a really hard and thick plastic. This time lapse of me trying to drill through that post is actually about 20 times faster than it took in real life before I finally gave up on it. Somewhere inside of there, I actually tried drilling through the front so I can make the two tunnels meet in the very center. But that wasn't a very good idea either, and I had a really hard time trying to find the other hole using the fiber optics when threading it through the front. Maybe if I had been using some type of drill press or jig, I could have gotten those holes to line up. But ultimately, I decided to try to open up the escape craft. There's a small gap where you can stick in a screwdriver to try to pry up one of the panels. It's difficult to do, and I didn't freeze the escape craft before trying this, and that was a mistake. The panel is held on really tight by that central post, and I ended up sticking in a large screwdriver to try to pry it open and hold it open while using a Dremel to core out that central post. Ultimately, I was so rough on that plastic panel that I ended up warping it. To save the plastic, I ended up having to take a heat gun and then melt the plastic until it was soft enough to bend back into its original shape. So, once again, don't do what I'm doing. Eventually, I got the piece of fiber optic threaded through the escape craft body, through all the holes that I had made, and then I glued it into place with a little bit of silicone glue. That's when I made my next mistake, which was to cut the fiber optics flush with the back of the engine. With such thin fiber optics spaced so far away from the source LED, the headlight did not have the intensity that I really wanted it to have. So when I plugged in the escape craft into the LED and turned on the Falcon, you'll notice the headlight was, well, a little disappointing. I ended up ordering thicker fiber optics and then started over. On my second attempt, I learned my lesson and switched to using a power drill. This approach was much faster than using a hand drill, and I didn't have to open up the escape craft to get those two holes to meet. A lot of times I'm pretty hesitant about using power tools, especially in this case where I was using a full drill, rather than just a Dremel with a drill bit attached to it. This variable speed drill, however, provided me the control that I needed to safely drill through the escape craft. The diameter of the new fiber optic cable is 2 millimeters. The thicker fiber optic provides for more light transmission, and something else that's really important. It's a lot stiffer, which basically means that the fiber optics can hang out of the back of the engine and get closer to the source LED. To get the fiber optic to be straight, since it comes in a coil, I used the heat gun. I injected some silicone glue into the back engine hole, and then threaded the fiber optics through. This second attempt was much faster, taking me only about 10 minutes of actual work. Once the glue cured, it was time to trim the fiber optics. I cut the front end flush to the escape craft, and then found a length for the back, where the overhang would reach the LED. The net result is that the headlight now has a much higher intensity than my first attempt. You'll notice that in this video, I actually have the power base already assembled. It's something that I worked on while I was waiting for the glue to cure for the escape craft. The next and final video in this series is going to be how I assembled that power base with some special features, namely a soundboard and a speaker. Tune in next time, and thanks for watching!